Namaste students, I am Jamin Dr. Aziz Mohd Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapit, Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic which is related to downstream processing, BSc Biotech, 6th semester. The subject is belonging to the process which are conducted after the fermentation. And the topic which I am going to discuss today is membrane separation. What are the membranes which are used? So, membrane filtration is a method by which we separate the particles by some filter which are membrane filters. So, a membrane, what is the membrane? A membrane is a thin layer of semi-permeable material that separate substances when a driving force is applied. Okay, it is a thin layer of semi-permeable material that separate substances when a driving force is applied across the membrane. And the membrane processes are increasingly used for the removal of the bacteria, microorganisms, fungi, some particulars, some enzymes, some proteins, some microbial products, antibiotics. So these are separated by the membrane filtration. And membrane-based separation process make use of the selective permeability. Means what is the basic of the selective permeability? We take the example of the cell membrane. We know that the cell membrane is selective permeable. What is the meaning of selective permeable? The meaning is that the cell membrane will allow only some molecules to pass and it will not allow another molecules to pass. It have some properties which allow it to pass only for the some molecules, such as proteins are allowed and some other ions are allowed, but not all kind of molecules, all kind of proteins are not allowed due to their size variation, shape variation. So this is the selective permeability, where only some selective compounds are allowed to pass through a membrane. Okay. What are the materials of the membrane? Normally, the membrane material is manufactured from a synthetic polymer. It is composed of some synthetic polymer, but other forms such as ceramic and metallic membranes may be available. Almost all membrane manufacturers for drinking water are made up of the polymeric material. The first commercial membrane was made up of cellulose acetate. First was, it can be asked that what is the first membrane material? So we can answer that the first membrane material was cellulose acetate. Temperature had to be maintained below 30 degrees centigrade and the pH range was 3 to 6 to 7 for the cellulose acetate membrane. These contents limited their use as they could not be disinfected by heat and they must need some acid and so there were some processing by which we had to skip the use of the cellulose acetate. And it is estimated that the 150 organic polymers have now been investigated for the applications. Different kinds of polymers are available, which about 150 have been discovered. Inorganic membrane-based sintered and ceramic materials are also available, and these are much more resistant. Means which material? Inorganic material and sintered and ceramic material. Sintered and ceramic material are also available. And what is the basic function, basic property of these ceramic and sintered material? The basic property is that they are more resistant to heat and they need less cleaning. Now discuss about the types of the filtration, various types of the filtration. A considerable number of different membrane processes have been found in industrial applications, and there are approximately four. Okay. We can also understand about the four types of filtration. And the first one is microfiltration, second one is ultrafiltration, uh, third is nanofiltration, and the fourth is the reverse osmosis. Some can also use the terms electrodialysis. In the electrodialysis, it's a technique in which the driving force is an electric field, and perforation, perforation is another thing. In perforation, a separation, it is a separation technique based on the vaporization. So, one selective membrane. This is the distillation based method. Now, discuss about the process of the membrane filtration. What is the process of the membrane filtration? We talk about the process membrane filtration. In membrane filtration, a portion of the fluid, which is known as the permeate, which is known as the permeate, passes through the membrane. Okay? And while other constituents are rejected by membrane and retained in the retainer concentrate. Means suppose that there is a membrane on which we apply something which is known as a feed. Okay, in that feed, okay, in that feed, some molecules, some particles will pass through, and some some particles will not pass through. So the molecules will pass through the membrane are known as the permeate, are known as the permeate, and the particles which are not allowed by the membrane to pass through are known as the itinerate, itinerate, itinerate. Okay, they are retained in the membrane, so they are known as the retentate. And the molecules which can pass through the membrane are known as the permeate because they are allowed by, they are permitted by the membrane to pass. Okay. Membrane material selection is also important. Uh, how the membrane material are selected? It must have high permeate flux. The membrane should have high permeate flux. It must have good retention capacity according to the specific application. It must have good mechanical strength. It must have good chemical stability. It must have bioinertness, and it must be thermally stability. I will repeat it. The membrane material must have high permeate flux. It must be. It must have good retention capacity. It must have good chemical strength. It must have chemical stability and inertness. It must have bioinertness. Means if we are using some enzymes as the biological compounds, it must be bioinertness. It must be thermal stable. And some more, uh, 7 number is it must be resistant to the cleaning and sanitizing. Means it must not it must resistant, means it, if we apply some cleaning and sanitizing agent, sometimes the membrane will not tolerate this and they will be disturbed, their permeability will be disturbed, so it must not be like that. 8 number, it must be resistance against the microbial action. like these membranes. It must be smooth, it must be falling resistant surface. It must have falling resistant surface, and it must have compliance with other food safety requirements. The availability in module types should be compatible with the specific application. Suppose if we are using any kind of application for food, for enzymes, so it must be compatible to any kind of selection, any kind of selecting material. It must be compatible to any kind of molecule, like enzyme, protein, whatever we are using. It must have, it must so long life. Okay, it must so long life, and it must have affordable. Okay, it must not be expensive. It must be affordable. So these must be characteristic of these minerals. And some advantage. What are the advantage of these filtration? They are usually continuous. Okay, they are usually continuous. And okay, and they are comparatively low energy utilized. They are if we talk about some other techniques of the separation, uh, such as centrifugation, chromatography, and some other techniques, then as compared to those old techniques, they are not using any kind of energy. They are low energy techniques, and no phase change of contamination is observed in these membrane filters, and small temperature change is observed. Okay? There is not any kind of change in the temperature, only small temperature change is observed. And most of the membranes are the temperature resistance that do not have any effect on the temperature, especially in the polymer membranes. There is no effect on the temperature. They must have they have modular design. It means the design is changed according what we are going to do. So they are modular designs which will change according to the function, according to the particulate which we are going to separate. It have minimum of moving parts. It will not move very much. Physical separation of contaminants is very possible by using the membrane filters, and it is not possible for some techniques. In membrane filter, the physical separation of some contaminant is separation. Some more things, what kind of membrane configurations can be used, and what we can apply for the membrane configuration. So I will discuss about the membrane configuration and different in the next video. Uh, I conclude all the things here. First, uh, in this lecture, I discussed about the membrane filtration, what is the membrane filtration, and what is the use. The membrane filtration is semi-permeable membrane, which is used to separate the particulates. They are selectively permeable to some particles. And membrane material is mostly the polymer, are composed of the polymer. The first in the previous time, it was used as the cellulose acetate, which have some disadvantage. So in the in current scenario, we are using about more than 150 organic filters, which are composed of the polymers and compounds. And the type, if we talk about the type of the membrane filtration, there are some types such as the membrane microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, and the reverse osmosis. And we can also use the electrodialysis, pervaporation. So these are also some types. we talk about the process, and in the process, the molecules which are allowed to pass through the membrane are known as the permeate, and molecules and the particles which are not allowed by the membrane are known as the retentate, which will be retained. We also talked about the how we select the membrane material and what are the advantages of the membrane. So all the things which I have not discussed, we will discuss in next lecture, and the students will aware all about these things. So what kind of questions can be asked? The student can be asked that explain membrane filtration, and what are the membrane filter materials, and what should be the properties of that membrane filtration, what is the process of the membrane filtration, and how we can select the membrane filtration, what are the basic criteria for the selection of the membrane filter, and what are the advantages of the membrane filter, and what is the configuration of the membrane filtration. So anything can be asked. So my lecture is over here. Thank you very much.